what I want to do is work on these templates. So we'll go through each of these. First, we'll open up my OpEx template. So here's where you're going to see now how we work with Excel. So right away, when I clicked open, this now launches Excel. And you can see right away is we provide this beautiful user experience directly within your Excel environment. So this is now that Vena web app that we were in. Think of that Vena web app now injecting directly within Excel. And right away, Excel knows, hey, this was a file that was launched from the Vena application. And now, before I can start to input my data, although you see here on the template, I'm defaulted to New York. So this is the task for the New York location. But within New York, here are all the departments I have access to. So instead of having, again, a different worksheet or a different file for sales, services, etc., it's just one master template. But I had this UI here to select, okay, what department do I want to input data for? This will be for my 2024 budget. And also what scenario. So we will, in this example, be defaulted to budget. But you can have many different scenarios, many different what-if scenarios, some hypothetical scenarios, worst case, best case, and things like that. So here I'm going to stick with just my 2024 budget. And now what you can see is when I click OK, now we're dynamically talking to the Vena application. And I dynamically expand out this template and bring in the data and make sure that all security is enforced in here as well. And also what you can see on the right-hand side is our Vena add-in. And this add-in now is our touch point in Excel that communicates with the Vena application. At the very top here, this is normal Excel ribbon. I just, for my preference, I have it hidden, so I have more of a real estate to work on my data input. But here on the Vena add-in is where I can input my data, of course, and then save it to the Vena database. I can choose different selections, so toggle department by department or take a look at different scenarios. I can enter in commentary at any intersection point on this template as well. And of course, be able to interact with my data, so expand into data. I can drill into user saves to see a full data history, look at audit trails, drill into transactions and activities like that as well. So at a very high level, when we look at this example of a template, you can see here is we have 4 main worksheets. So these are 4 worksheets, regardless of location or department or scenario. These are the 4 master worksheets that are mapped to the Vena database, mapped to the application. So here's where I'm going to be able to enter in my G&A OpExes. I also have a worksheet here for travel, so to input details of travel expenses, who's traveling from where, to where, for how many nights, etc. To have a model here to define what my travel expense items are. Same idea for vendors. Who are the vendors that we're using across different accounts? Who is the actual company or what have you? Some descriptions, billable hours, rates, etc. You can create any kind of model you want here to support any one of your line item details within your P&L statement. And here also, having insights into my data. So as I'm inputting information, I can always reference what were my historical actuals versus this year's budget versus forecast, so I can understand trends and anomalies that will ultimately help me with my input process. So what we're going to do here is, just very quickly, I'm going to type in a couple of numbers, copy paste exactly as you might do within Excel. But ultimately here, when I click save, that data is now being saved right into the Vena database. And you can see here that check mark, yes, it's been successfully saved. Just as a very quick proof point, I'm going to delete these values here and do a refresh. Just to make it very clear, we're not working with an Excel file where the data is in the file, but we are working with Excel, and Excel is just very simply, again, that window into our application.